Wow, I cannot believe that we are at the end of 2023. It seems like it just started yesterday. 2023 for ERB Sports was one heck of a year for the channel. We more than doubled in size, but we fell short of our goal. Lots of cool sports card pickups throughout the year, including the National. Other things throughout the year highlighted by PSA submissions and a lot of other things. Let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome back in, ERB Sports fans, to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about the highlights, the lowlights, and the in-between. What went well, what didn't go well for all of 2023. Looking forward to the next year, 2024. Let's begin. First, let's look at the channel. Let's highlight some of the key takeaways from the channel this year. When we started the year, January 1st of 2023, we had 304 subscribers. We were a growing channel that had been around for about 8 months. And by the end of the year, as of the recording of this video, we're at 764 subscribers. We were hoping for 1,000, but we fell short of that goal. Ultimately, I'm going to put that on me. I've got to be better. I've got to be a better editor. I've got to be a better recorder. I've got to make better content. To jump into the YouTube space after the COVID boom and try to be a relevant channel, if you weren't already a relevant channel, is very, very difficult, if not impossible. It is possible. We've seen channels like SCV Sports Cards rocket ship to multiple thousands of subscribers within a couple of months' time by making good edited content, daily content, stable content, controversial content, all the things in between. I don't know that that is my channel, but I consider myself a variety channel, which probably hurts me in the long run, but that's okay. I hoped that it would bring in multiple audiences, but unfortunately what I've probably done is confuse the YouTube algorithm to not know which audience to push my content out to. And I'm going to put that on me, not them. So at 764 subscribers, we did fall short of our goal. Looking at some of the highlights, it looks like we got about 950,000 impressions, which I think means people had the opportunity to click on a video, but ultimately only 75,000 people did. The click-through rate for my videos is kind of bad, honestly, 4.5%. I've got to do better. I've got to do better at getting the wow factor within the first 30 seconds. And again, I'm going to put a lot of this on me. But ultimately, we grew by more than double. And we continue to grow each and every day a little bit at a time. And it's going to take time. Like I said, we're not going to hit 1,000 subscribers overnight because, quite honestly, I'm not sure I have the magic formula for how to do that. And I'm okay with that. Early on, I was a little put off by it. I was a little disappointed, a little beaten down. But there are 764 of you that decided you guys liked my content. And I was completely blown away by that. I'm referencing a time when I was standing in line at the National with Brett and with Keith from Midwest Sports Cards. We were waiting for silver packs from the Topps booth, and several people came up to me after just hearing my voice, said, Are you ERB? And I said, absolutely. Nice to meet you. And that just made my day. Every time I go to a card show, I don't even know if the local people at my card show know me as well as some of the people do at the National. And that's okay. Like I said, I'm not here to kind of toot my own horn, but I make the channel to hopefully enjoy the content with you and have you enjoy the content as an audience member. So, highlights from the top 5 videos for the year. I'll be honest, these are not very wow videos. I made a Series 2 video about the print run and which boxes you should buy. Probably shouldn't buy any, but if you did buy any, the Series 2 hobby boxes look like the best one, followed by the hanger and fat packs, and then the jumbos coming in kind of 4th place there. That video got 4,000 views, which was way more than any viewer count I ever had at the time. I think that was somewhat aided by Stryker making a reference to my video in his live stream multiple times during the release of Series 2. The second one was a very, very recent short that I posted, about 2,500 views as of the recording of this video. I pulled it downtown out of a Target Mega Box. You can see the Mega Box here in front of me. Out of that very box, I pulled a Joe Montana Downtown. If you want, go ahead and click on that short. It should be the latest short in the feed. Go ahead and watch me pull it downtown. Watch my reaction, and here's some funny commentary leading into that. The next video, again, was sort of a print run video. Stadium Club Chrome had about 2,000 views. I think I made that at the tail end of last year, but it bled over into this year, and so it was one of my more popular videos. The Chrome, Topps Chrome flagship print run also brought in about 1,700 views. When I talked to you guys how many Jumbos, blaster boxes, regular hobby boxes were made, mega boxes, etc., etc. 1,700 views later. And the last one in the top 5 was a Meyer Sucks short. I don't know what it is, but in my geographic location, which is the Indianapolis metro area, every Meyer I go to is still wrecked when it comes to cards and purchases or whatever. Every time I go there, I go there on days that I know are designated restock days. I don't know what it is in my area. Maybe they don't have enough people to stock. Maybe they divert it to other geographic locations, or maybe it's just that darn popular in my area, because every time I frequent a Meyer in my area, it looks nothing like that of Sky B, or that of Step in the Box Brett, or that of anybody else I've seen at a Meyer. It literally looks wrecked every single time. There's nothing good on the shelves. Most of the good stuff's already gone, if not all of it, and I cannot believe still to this day that happens, but it does. All right, so card pickup-wise, the year has been okay. I mean, I made a couple of pickups early on in the year that were leading into the playoffs for De'Aaron Fox. I picked these two up at the National after sort of the hype died back down. We got a couple color match purples here. The Purple Rookie Kings, picked that up for $30 and picked this one up for $90. So all told, I'm into those for about $120. We're going to spread those apart because the disappointment is going to come here in a little bit. Overall, as far as I'm going for purchases of cards, De'Aaron Fox, Giannis, Steph Curry. I try to keep a really, really tight list of guys that I'm going after, because if I spread it too thin, I'm just going to be all over the place. It's going to cost way too much. So I narrow my focus to a couple guys that I really, really believe in. And one of them is De'Aaron Fox. As you guys know, I'm probably one of the biggest De'Aaron Fox fans. The guy scored 43 points last night, even though they lost. I mean, he was lights out from 3-point. I think he was 7 of 15. I mean, the guy's out there shooting like Steph Curry now, but he gets absolutely no credit whatsoever. And I think in the end, it's going to come down to whether the Kings win or lose as to whether he gets any credit. I hope he stays in Sacramento for his entire career, because I love these color match purples. But if he doesn't, oh well, and we'll see what happens. As far as the National goes, I did attend to the National for the second time. Got 2 fingers up here. As I mentioned before, I met up with Keith from Midwest Cards and Step in the Box both days. We had a great time. Ped's card collection too. Can't forget about Ped's card collection. We missed out on Striker. We missed out on a couple others that we intended to meet up with, but you win some, you lose some. We had intended to meet up with Striker, but we didn't ultimately kind of click when it came to our schedules, and so that was that. But I had a lot of fun hanging out with those guys for 2 straight days. That's one of the biggest draws for me of the National, is the fact that you get to hang out with some of your friends that you only get to see once a year, if not on YouTube or live streams with Batter Up of Brett and John, or a lot of other ways that we can interact, chat, messenger, etc., etc. I love the fact that we can go to the National and hang out for a couple of days, rip some cards, stand in line for silver packs, just have a blast. So can't beat that. The disappointment of the year, like I said earlier in the video, talked about the disappointment being I didn't hit my goal of 1,000 subscribers. That is still a goal for next year. Hopefully hit 1,000 subscribers in the first quarter of the year. If that doesn't happen, we are not going to give up. We're going to keep plugging away. We're going to keep sharpening our pencil. We're going to keep making sure that we look at the data. We understand where the audience is. We understand where the needs of the audience are. And we be ourselves, but also make sure that we're in tune with what the audience is looking for when it comes to the feedback I've gotten. Leave some feedback in this video. Let me know what you'd like to see more of in 2024, and I will definitely try to hit you up on that offer. As far as that offer goes, though, if it involves buying more retail and ripping cards, you watched my video from the other day talking about college funds. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to very, very narrow my focus next year for cards. It won't be as wide as it was this year. And this year I consider more narrow than the previous year. So it is what it is. And last but not least, the disappointment of all disappointments. I pulled a card that I thought at the time was an absolutely fantastic pull, an epic pull on Batter Up with Brett and John. I pulled an autograph redemption out of a holiday mega box, and it was none other than Wander Franco. Well, this card, 20 out of 50. I sent it off to grade in late June. I was in Canada for a vacation for 2 weeks. I had hoped for about a 1 month turnaround time, in which case I was going to hope for a Gem Mint 10, and then I was going to sell it as soon as I got it back. Well, wouldn't you know it, I didn't get this card back until September 6th. You guys can do the math, but the news about Wander came out on August 12th, I believe, or August 13th. And September 6th is clearly after that date, in which case this card, even though it got a Gem Mint 10, was an extremely big disappointment for the year. I know it's not all about the money. I know it's not all about what you can sell and what you can profit from. But I clearly was, I don't want to say, it is what it is. I was clearly kind of, that was a bad beat. That's a poker term, right? That was a bad beat on Wander Franco. Had I pulled that card 6 months earlier, I had the box in my possession for literally a year before I opened it. I could have opened it at any time. I decided to rip it live on Batter Up with Brett and John. We were going to have a box battle. I was so excited at the time I won that box battle. Well, in hindsight, I probably didn't win the box battle because Brett pulled a Julio Silver out of his box, and I'm pretty sure he would win now. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Wander comes back. Maybe he's cleared of all charges. He hasn't even filed any charges, but maybe he's cleared of all wrongdoing and he's back on the Rays come next season. So 2023 had its fair share of ups and downs. The channel grew. The channel keeps growing. We've got a lot of things to look forward to for 2024. Stay tuned for more content. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. Like the video if you would. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you in the next video.